Good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to the channel. And you join me on an afternoon cycle through what has been known as the jewel of Dundee City. The jewel of the crown of Dundee City. That is somewhere where I also grew up on, very close by, and spent a lot of my younger days either playing on the golf course here or just playing around at the play park. And I thought I would share a little wee story with you, and this has got a little bit of inspiration from a YouTuber I've never heard of until literally the last few days, a guy called Kurt Kaz. Kurt, I've been obsessed by your videos, bro, over the last few days. And yeah, I got some inspiration to do this. So we are at Camperdown Park in Dundee, Scotland. This has got lots of tales. And yeah, welcome aboard. So there is said to be over 190 different species of tree in this park. But most importantly, one of those trees, I mean, all the trees have come from different parts of the world, but one of these trees, which we'll end the video with, I think, is known as the Camperdown elm. This was an elm tree, and it is the only of its kind where it fused, two trees came together and fused in this park, in Camperdown Park, so it is now known as the Camperdown elm. So we're going to go and see that. But what we're seeing at the moment, well, this is the gardens and nursery. Up there, used to be stables. We kids, when we were younger, we used to be able to go up there and get rides on little horses. Another cool part of it used to be, when growing up, was there was this massive duck pond right here. Ducks were flourishing there. Used to feed them bread sticks, different parts of things, and they would come right up to you. It used to be about 30. No word of a lie yet. Start being let to grow over. Got big, massive trees on this bit. There's actually a map called the Camperdown Tree Trail, and you can certainly, there's some right here. Some right here with all the name tags on them that you can go and see them, and there's different trees from different parts of the world. It used to be so well maintained, unfortunately. But the pièce de résistance of Camperdown Park is Camperdown House. I mean, look at this. Used to be the golf club in there. All boarded up now. I mean, it was built in a sort of like Greek sort of style. These massive windows. Wild, isn't it? Yeah, again, all boarded up. I've been in it once. Look at these massive pillars. Look at the door. Tons of big artwork is still in there. But due to lack of maintenance and poor disabled accessible facilities, it's not available to the public. Run by Dundee City Council. I mean, And look at these trees behind us. All the different colours. Big monkeys one there. A few copper ones. Such a cool place. There used to be a putting green around about here, some pitch and putt. All gone. This stone is associated with a Scottish king called Alpin, who was killed by the Picts at the Battle of Pitalpi in the 8th and 9th century. So it looked like it used to be here, but then it was moved into the park where it is today. Surviving evidence, unfortunately, does not provide any conclusive proof that the stone did mark the spot where the king fought and died. However, the Alpin stone has been identified as a socket stone for a 10th century freestanding cross, possibly marking a cemetery. Human bones were found in the 19th century in a grassy mound near the stone. Recent history. Before it being moved to its present location in Camperdown Park, the cross base stood at a bend in the road of a top of a small mound. It gave its name to the road King's Cross Road, which is one of the streets in Dundee, and then to the hospital that was built further down the road in the 19th century. There is a hospital called King's Cross Hospital in Dundee. Cross base was also used as a boundary marker before Dundee expanded in the 20th century. Liff and Benvie were to the west where it stood, and Mains of Strathmartin to the northeast, and Dundee to the southeast. The stone was moved to its present location on the lawn in Camperdown House when it was threatened by roadworks during the building of the Kingsway, which is a major road that goes through Dundee. That's quite cool. Casual can of Rockstar. Right beside. No, I do apologise. Poor branding. Monster. There's the change of society, folks. Look at that house, man. Look how cool it is. Imagine this. So, what we had was the 18th green of the golf course right here. You would just walk up, when I grew up, into the sort of main door just right there. And you'd go and get like a bacon roll or whatever. I used to play with a friend. And yeah, you could look out the lawn. There used to be a practice putting green around about here. I actually can't see where it would have been because it's all overgrown. But, I mean, when this was well kept, beautiful fairways all the way down, and there would have been a dogleg right to the first green. And we'll go there now. But imagine this, like vision-wise, if anybody had any vision in this country or in this city, imagine this, if we had that as a wedding venue, it'd be an awesome wedding venue, wouldn't it? And cafe outside, little garden bit, cafe, open up some of the golf again. I mean, people would, from all over the world, would probably want to be married in somewhere like that. This used to be the 11th tee right here, and was a massive par 5 all the way down the hill. But as you can see, it is completely overgrown. Look at the view. Look at the view in the distance. You've got the River Tay, Fife, the Kingdom, and some of the multis of Meares Hill right there in front of us, the west end of Dundee. I even remember sledging all the way down this in the winter of 2010, early 2011. We went from, even the stake still right there. You see the stake? It's the medal tee, or the back tee, so right at the top there. There's actually even some houses through there that look quite cool. We went literally from the tee all the way down, right down to the very bottom, which is sort of the bottom left-hand corner of the of the park itself. And oh, those were the days. But it's an absolute shambles at the fact that, like, this used to be a championship golf course. And, I mean, ever since COVID, it's just been left to sort of rack and ruin. Council cutbacks, as they say. It was certainly one of the best golf courses, certainly inland, certainly in the local area. Tough holes, tough golf course as a whole. And I mean, it was part of the community. It was part of Dundee City Council itself. So it was for the people. It was for the people, and well, I'm currently standing on the first green now. It's nowhere to be seen. It's just walking paths, as you can see. Shame. Now, the area of Camperdown is quite actually vast. I can't remember how big, but it's certainly the biggest park in Dundee. And it was originally designated to somebody Duncan after the Battle of Camperdown, which is a village in Holland, when we were battling the Dutch. And that's sort of where it got its name, Camperdown. And yeah, the house was there, built in honour of this guy, who then became a dignitary in the British Empire at the time. And yeah, only came into public ownership in the 1946, just after the war. So, vast amount of history. I think it was like 1680s is when this was first designated as a park. But, I mean, yeah, you can still go to different parts of it. We'll go and see the play park. We'll also go and see the tennis courts and another duck pond. And then finally, the elm. Let's go. How pretty it is. Statue. Car. See statue of the squirrel. Look at all the colours. Such a vast expanse. Look at this. Now, there used to be a pitch and putt just up here for golf, and a putting green, and then thankfully we're keeping the tennis courts. Some youths playing tennis. It looks much better than what it used to be when I was younger. It's actually proper pitches now. But this part used to be used once a year on the first weekend of September. It used to be used as the Dundee Flower Show, or the Dundee Flower and Food Festival. It was the biggest flower and food festival of its kind. I'm just going to turn around actually. So literally everything in shot, either down this side, this was primarily parking, and then the bit that I've just shown, all of that, let's see if I'm going to flip round, all of to the right hand side was marquees, tents, outdoor stuff, and we would get, there was prizes for like best marmalade, best jam, and you would always get like, if you free to enter, but then it even got like the farmers got involved. It was like free, the best potato, the best looking carrot, Those were the days. I remember as a primary kid, there was like gardens that we had to, you could create like a garden in like a sort of cardboard box. And it was for the kids. First place probably got like £5. Fantastic, wasn't it? Those were the days. There was always like the Dundee Model Boat Club. Would always be, there's a little duck pond just over there. And they would always bring their like sailing boats or their motorised boats. We would get a wee try of that. There would always be the sort of spinning teacups. And yeah, it was like, entry was like only £5 or whatever. But it was great, it was cool. There used to be football fields down here. Again, sort of left to rack nor ruin. But Camperdown's also most famous for these days for probably the most notorious park run, 5k. If you're a runner, I would highly advise, if you're into the park runs, I used to be, did a few, got bored. But the park run 5k at Camperdown is one of the most notorious. Big figure of 8, you go all the way down to the bottom of the car park, and then you have to come all the way back up, and then back down to the bottom right of the park, and then back to the middle, just where I said those football fields. So yeah, check it out. Now we're going down to the bottom park to make sure about this. I'm going to show you a lot, but there are these little sand play areas for kids. But there used to be these massive wooden huts or wooden boats over there that you used to be able to go and play. Take pride in your park. Yes, right message, Dundee City Council. Take pride in your park. Like, there it is again. If we actually looked after this place, it would be cool as anything. It would be a tourist site for people all over the world. Big Bear. Another part of Camperdown. The Wildlife Centre. We've got some bears, some a variety of animals in there. Lemurs, I think. Closed today. I actually think it's permanently closed. Not too sure. This oak was planted on the 21st of October 2005 by John Letford, Lord Provost of Dundee, to commemorate the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805. It's called Trafalgar Woods. Look at that. And then, I think this is it. The Camperdown elm. Ulmus glabra camperdowni. Camperdown elm is a natural mutant of Scotland's native wych elm. I hope that's pronounced right. It was discovered by chance in 1835, grown wild in the woodland of the Earl of Camperdown's head forester, David Taylor. Intrigued by its alien appearance, Taylor carefully lifted and transplanted the tree to the location you see today. Boom. Sort of moulded together. It's nuts that you don't know about these things until you've like went away and came back. You just appreciate. I bet there's some naturists. I just love that sort of stuff. I mean, I'm grateful for it now. the Camperdown Elm in Camperdown Park. Look at the colour. The south entrance, and beside it, allotments. Up over there. Not just the park, because it used to be water. Tell you what, you're not on it. Here we go. This was prime real estate when you were 5 years old. This was the major ships that used to be there. It used to be like big climbing frames of ships right there. There was even like a little pedalo thing so you could pedal your bike, pedal on the water, but all gone now. Gone were the day that you could have fun. Have pride in your park, folks. Use the bin and take the rubbish home. Fixed penalty notices of £80 for littering. Camperdown Country Park. As litter goes by. This is a hot spot for, what shall we say? Youths. Certainly in my day when I was a kid. I actually never came down here when I was a youth. But certainly the kids at my school that were not necessarily the most well behaved, shall we say. They would come down here on a Friday night. The nickname would be Campy. Let's go to Campy. Certainly a lovely entrance, isn't it? You come down to Campy and drink some stuff that they shouldn't really be drinking. This is sort of the southwest part, southeast part. Sort of overgrown bit, you can actually see. Let's see if I can zoom in there. There's a burnt down car down there. But, beautiful views. Certainly up in the distance. That's the Meanest Hill Water Tower. Main water tower for the west of the city. And then we've got the back of the cinema and the ice arena here. There's another car burnt down. The Law Hill in the distance. The Law Monument. It's the highest point in Dundee, I think, where you can get panoramic views. We might do a video up there at some point. Continue to have pride in your park, folks. That's the main entrance there, and we're at the Cooper Angus Road, and that's the Drybra Timex Bray right there. And we're going to go down to, just down here, just the Premier Inn, into the Camperdown Retail Park, or Retail Estate. See if we can cross over here. There we go. It's all kicking off for the finest cuisines. The McDonald's, KFC, and that's Nando's right there. We've got the cinema there. Not today. Not today. It's all kicking off. So that's the Cineworld. And that's Dundee Ice Arena. Used to go there on a Friday, do some ice skating with some rock music. Would fall over many a time on that bit. And as you can see, this bit's sort of like a bit abandoned at the moment. But, fingers crossed, in the next few years, subject to planning permission, all of this bit is actually going to be the home stadium of Dundee Football Club. They've put planning permission in to try and get a brand new stadium. So this would be taking them out of their old stadium at Dens Park. Dundee United and Dundee Football Club. Obviously, the closest two stadiums, I think, in the world. They're on Tannadice Street, so it's Dens Park and Tannadice, Dundee and Dundee United. But these guys certainly going to try and build here like a hotel and a few other things along with the stadium. Well, that's me finished for the day. Hope you found this interesting of somewhat, and we'll see you soon.